we're going to do another LaLo, this time at Town Hall 11. But before we get into it, I wanted to talk about the point of these videos. So the point of these videos is it's not only how to teach you how to do these attacks, but it's to teach you when to use them. The first videos I've posted have been pretty heavy with LaLo, and partly that's because a lot of people have been asking about it and have been saying in the chat, boy, I really need to learn how to use LaLo. So that's why I'm going with loons first. But later on, once I get through these videos, I'm going to go into hogs and bow witch and e-drags. And hopefully what you've been seeing is I've been looking at these bases and identifying certain characteristics about what makes a base good for a certain attack. And as I go on, I'll also be telling you guys why I don't like certain attack strategies for these as well. My goal is how to teach you guys how to pick the right combo to attack a base, and not necessarily how to show you how to 3-star any base with the combo that you have. So after going through all of the videos in total, you should be able to know when looking at a base what combo to use. And from the commentary that I'm giving on these, you should know how to plan those attacks. But, most importantly, it's which combo to use on a base. And at the end, I'm going to show you a second attack on this base, and we'll talk a little bit more about that at that time. But it also shows you why we're pretty big on having you at least be familiar with all of these combos. Let's get into this attack. So I'm looking at this attack. What do we see here? We have air sweepers pointing that way. They're pretty close together. And we also have a queen and a king and a CC very close together. So let's go hogs. No, actually, I don't like hogs for this one. And I'll tell you why. But first, if I were to plan hogs, there are two ways that you could probably go about it. You could probably come right in here with a kill squad and not use the wall wrecker, and then use it somewhere on the back end to tank. Or you could come in through here with a really big kill squad and get the queen and the king, and probably some expos as well. Now, each of those, I don't like those for specific reasons. Now, if you look out here, you have spaces, spaces, spaces. You have a space between each of these defenses, which means those are all probably going to be trapped up with spring traps. So let's say my hogs hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spring traps. That throws 3 hogs each, so that's 15 hogs. Now, if I come in this way, that is a really big kill squad, so I may likely only have maybe 20 hogs. So if I do come out here and there's spring traps, I may be left with 5 hogs once I get through just these couple buildings here. So that is why I decided against hogs on this one. Now, coming in here is an option, but I get a little bit nervous with multi-target infernos and hogs. Normally, hogs are a little bit slow to take down buildings, so you would almost need a heal or a rage just to get through this one defense so you don't lose too many hogs. But doing that, it's kind of a waste of a spell, because if you drop a heal, you're really not getting any other defenses taken down other than this one. So we decided to roll hogs out on this one, and I came down on LaLo with a kill squad coming in this direction for a couple reasons. If I come in this way with a kill squad, I'm going to need a lot of spells, and there's a chance I might miss the eagle. But if I come in this way, I get a ton of value with my kill squad. I get 2 air defenses, the eagle, the sweeper, the queen, the CC, probably 3 wizard towers, and the multi-target Inferno. So that's a lot of value for the type of kill squad that you can run on this base. And if you break it down like this, you may nearly get half the base here. So that's for the size of the kill squad that I'm going to bring, which is, I'd say, roughly probably 30% of my army. You're nearly taking down half the base. So we are going to enter here. Now, in the past videos, I haven't talked a lot about funneling, and that's because the bases were poorly designed. But this actually has a little bit of a difficult funnel. So you want your troops to come in here, but there are a couple issues getting them to go in, and namely this building here and this building here. We need to get rid of those. So this is kind of, a lot of times the funnel requires the most thought. So up here, if I drop a baby dragon down, this air defense is probably going to get him. But before he gets to the archer tower, if I drop some wizards and some giants, they might get through it. But I finally decided to do some loons to take these down, and then follow that up with a baby drag, because I really only need to get these two buildings. I don't necessarily need to get these two, but these two definitely need to go down if I want to get inside the base on that side. Now on this side, I'm primarily worried about my bowlers coming around the side here and attacking this wizard tower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do giants and wizards over here, because ideally I want to get all of these out of the way. And then again, I'm going to leave these two here. Those are kind of the anchor points to keep the king and the queen around so they don't run off. Like I said, I'm going to take my wall wrecker in here with the warden and some bowlers. I'll probably freeze this so my bowlers last a little bit longer, and then save another freeze over here. And ideally I want to get this air sweeper down as well, so that my LaLo doesn't run into any problems with that. So I think with that, we'll take a look at the attack. All right, here we go. So I haste those loons over here, and then I drop a baby drag behind them. And I'm also going to use some giants and some wizards over here. That wall wrecker is going to go in. Now, notice that at this point that that mortar's down and everything over here to the side is cleared. So the bowlers and the queen don't really have anywhere to go. So they're going to follow right in. All right, my wall wrecker is getting low on health, so I'm going to use the tome. The CC pops out. Now, I poison them, and then I try to drop my freeze to get the CC troops and the Inferno, but I miss the Inferno. So that freeze was planned for the Inferno tower. And you'll notice that the way my queen went, I also missed that sweeper. So I ran into a little bit of trouble to start with. But I had to start the LaLo at that point anyway. So I'm going to drop 2 groups of loons, and hopefully they'll end up at this wizard tower right here. And then my other groups of loons are going to hit these point defenses and then move straight to the Inferno. Again, I missed another freeze. I wasn't in time with that freeze on the Inferno, so I lost my hound. But it's still looking pretty good. We have a lot of loons left, but I end up not having enough to get to the end of this attack. So overall, I think it was a really good plan. I think I ended up with, let's see, what did we get here? I ended up with 87%. So this attack can be fixed. And that's kind of what I want to talk about next. Is it's good to know all of these attacks, because if, you know, we always talk about asking all of our higher level players to know how to use all of the different attacks. And this is a perfect example of why you want that to be the case. When you know someone drops an 87% 2-star, or sorry, an 87% on a base and is that close to tripling, you know that they are on to something with that attack. So if you watch this one, it will look very familiar, and that's because Ant basically just copies Mr. Crumpet's attack. He has stronger troops, and he fixes a few mistakes. You know, he has a stronger army, so he's going to get a bigger push out of his kill squad. And something I like that he did over here is he actually uses his king to form this funnel, so the king walks around and then follows the wall wrecker in. So I kind of like that a little bit better than what I did. Now, I mean, you'll notice that this is almost the exact same attack. Now, he's waiting a little bit longer on his tome. So he's hitting the tome now. And I mean, he can do that because his troops are all a level higher than Mr. Crumpet's. The only thing that I guess both of us missed that air sweeper. So it would have been nice if we could have taken down that air sweeper. But it's not really going to matter for this attack, since it is a dip attack, and he's using the exact same combo and plan that I used. It's I mean, it's basically a healthy 3-star. He had a little bit of trouble with the loon funneling, but it won't matter as he has so many troops left. And we'll just speed this up, and that's